What's up, YouTube? Your boy Rob, aka Card Chart. They say the wise man learns more from the fool than the fool does the wise. So if you're the fool, maybe you should go watch something else. Or put another way, they say the strong mind is offended by lies, but the weak mind is offended by truth. Put another way, half the world has a below average IQ, and more than half the world gets emotional. When you get emotional, you can't critically think. So I'm thinking about playing poker again. And you might be wondering, what am I doing to get prepared to play poker? Am I in the forum boards, analyzing hands? Am I working the training sites, reading books, working with solvers? No, I got the solver. See, the most important thing you need when you're playing poker is mentality. Without the mentality, you ain't got nothing. It's like life. So let's start with what Bobby Baldwin said. He said, in life, if you want to be successful, and same thing with gambling, if you want to be successful, you have to understand that you have self-destructive urges. Dostoevsky, the Russian writer, alcoholic, and degenerate gambler, said, society, if everything was perfect, we'd fuck it up just to keep it interesting. People want chaos deep down. You got to understand this when you're playing. Because without the mentality, you got nothing. You can be the most skillful gambler in the world, but without the mentality, you ain't got nothing. So let's look at a highly revered gambler, appreciated hero worship. His name was Stu Ungar. And the guy was, high IQ, the fast mind, the photographic memory, expert at blackjack, banned from playing, expert at gin rummy, expert at poker. But at poker, he had problems. You see, he was a great tournament player, but he wasn't a great cash game player. So what was the difference between tournaments and cash game? It was the mentality. I'll explain this. It's real simple. You can take the world's top cash game players and you can put them in tournaments, and they are a favorite to be net positive at the end of a long duration of tournaments. But the converse is not true. You can take the top tournament players, stick them in the cash games, and they're hopeless losers. Stewie was one of them. They would build the games around Stewie. That's a fact. I don't give a fuck. Remember, if you got the weak mind, you're getting all upset, getting all triggered. Stewie's your hero. What does this fucking guy know about Stu Ungar and gambling? I know a fucking lot. I know a lot about human nature. Just pay attention. Now remember, if you're the fool, I already told you to fuck off. Go watch something else. See, words don't offend the strong mind. I can say any fucking word I want. Words that offend the retarded mind. Oh shit. You didn't know. Now you're gonna fucking learn, bro. I told you don't stick around. So it turns out Stewie's a winner at the tournaments, and he's ahead of his time. He's the best at tournaments, but he's not. He's a sucker at the cash games. And so at the end of it, Stewie with his brilliant mind, but because he couldn't control his fucking mind, because he didn't have the fucking mentality, he winds up hopelessly addicted to fucking cocaine with $800 in his pocket, dies, and his friends have to buy his tombstone because that's how fucking broke he was. So what's the difference between playing cash games and playing tournaments? Why was Stewie successful in the tournaments but not in the cash games? The answer is fucking easy if you want to know the truth. The answer is, when he was playing tournaments, there's no game selection, you understand? It doesn't matter if you're the 10th best player in the world. If you're playing for cash and you're against the 9 other better players, you're the sucker. It's that fucking simple. And they would build the games around Stewie, you understand? Because he would go on tilt, get emotional, put a bad beat on him, it gets all fucking crazy. Second problem, in cash games, when you go broke, you can reach into your pocket and you can rebuy. You can't do that in the fucking tournament. Well, you can do it in rebuy tournaments, but I'm talking about the World Series of Poker, which he was a legend in. And since you can't rebuy, you were just out of the tournament. You suffer the fucking bad beat and you're out of the fucking tournament. That fucking simple. That's why he was able to survive tournaments, superstar, and cash games. He was a sucker. Plain and fucking simple. And they always talk about these heroic calls Stewie made, but no one ever talks about the heroic folds. See, it was kind of like a calling station. So in one of the books, when they were analyzing Stewie's play, a world-class player at the time said the thing about Stewie in the cash games was he couldn't stand 2 checks. So if you had a big hand, you would check to him twice, and he was guaranteed to bet. You would induce the bluff. You understand? And then you could check raise his ass.